the municipality has to adopt a resolution that officially designates that property to change in use to allow a portion of it to be used for a community garden. That is what DEP considers consistent with the Green Acres regulations. But before we can do that, 90 days prior to enacting that resolution, the municipality has to hold a public hearing. That public hearing has to be advertised 30 days prior to holding the public hearing. And there's a number of specific requirements for the advertisement, including certain publications, posting on the website, and as well as posting actual signage on the property itself. So working with Mr. Pasicolo, we were going through trying to figure out what possibly could be the earliest time frame moving on this if we did. And by doing so, we worked it out kind of working backwards, and then that would mean by June 22nd, is provided that we get Green Acres approval on the signs. You have to get their approval on the notices and the signs prior to posting them, but if we get that done and posted and everything ready by June 22nd, then we can hold the public hearing on July 24th. Then, considering we comply with all the notice and notice requirements for the public as well as Green Acres, then the township can finally adopt the resolution making the actual change in use on October 23rd. Those are all regularly scheduled council meetings. That's how we're trying to work it out. If for some reason we can't get Green Acres approval for the signs and the public notices by June 22nd, everything would we could basically move everything down one council meeting. So instead of the July 21st, it would be the August council meeting, and then instead of October 23rd, it would be the first council meeting in November. But we'll try our best to see if we can make those deadlines and those time periods, because that is the earliest we could actually act to get the approval for Green Acres. And once we adopt that resolution, and as long as we complied with all the specific procedural requirements, then Green Acres we submit the resolution to Green Acres, and then within a time period thereafter, they officially designate or authorize the designation.
I have a meeting tomorrow at 2:30 with Richard Leister. We're going to go over this, and we're going to need a lot of help from the Environmental Commission, legwork, getting all of these items done in the time frame. In the meantime, I think as Joe has told us before, nothing can be done on that property until we get all of these clearances. We can't do anything over there, so we got to make sure we abide by that, stay away, and don't do anything that would violate.
Yeah, if I could add to that as well, one of the other applications that we did talk about has to also be applied to the historic registration department down at the state. At the last council meeting, or whatever it was one prior to that, I had mentioned that they had advised us that an application would be required because this is a historic site, registered historic site. So the one concern they would possibly have would be whether there was any potential relics in the ground. Though we don't think that the type of disturbance that we would be making would trigger anything major, but we still have to make the application. The Environmental Commission has supplied some documentation to help facilitate that application, so I'll be working on that with Mr. Pasicolo as well to try to get that filed as soon as possible.